Hello, I'm back. A few weeks ago, I made my second video and I said that I would be ranking the comic books. Well, I reread them again and let's get started with our ranking. Sorry for the background noise. They're doing some construction outside of my place, so yeah, sorry about that. In last place, I'm gonna put The Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives. Now, I love the art style of this comic book. I think it's pretty, in my opinion. But I didn't like the story. This comic book is a sequel to the first movie. But I didn't connect with it that much. To be honest, I am not the biggest fan of the Creature from the Black Lagoon movie or its other sequels. I do find him a tragic character, but I just wasn't a fan of this comic book. Besides, there isn't much of him, and when there is of him, there isn't much interesting stuff about it. I mean, there are things that I find curious about the character, but I just wish that there was more of the creature. And the ending kind of confused me. Oh, and from this point on, I'm gonna talk about some spoilers, so be prepared. The ending kind of confused me because the main character of the story, let's just say that although interesting, they try to do with the who's the real monster, the creature or like man and stuff, but let's just say I wish it was more developed, and I wish the ending didn't left like inconclusive in my opinion. So that's my number 5. Now, in fourth place, I'm gonna put The Mummy. And on paper, this is a pretty good story. I mean, you get the perspective of the main character, Helen, and how do you say it? I do like how they do where she has like someone inside of her and all that. And also the art style in this comic, I find it also beautiful in my opinion. The details, especially with Imhotep's character, or Ardath Bey, as they call him in the original movie. But one of the problems that I have with this comic is that they don't show more depth in the relationship between Imhotep and Anck-se-Namun. And I was kind of disappointed because I thought we were gonna get more of like their backstory and stuff. I mean, to be fair, we did get a little more than what they showed in the 1932 movie. But overall, I think it's a good movie. I mean, if you're a fan of the original one, I mean, you can enjoy this one. It's more like a retelling of this, which like adds new scenes to like from the original and stuff like that. I do find quite fascinating. Sorry about that. In third place, it's gonna go to Frankenstein. I love this movie. I love the movie. I think the movie is very tragic and it should receive more love and stuff. And this comic, I like how in each issue, cause in each comic book there's like 4 issues. They explain a little bit of like the body parts of like the creature or Frankenstein's monster and stuff. I do quite find that pretty fascinating and stuff. One thing I actually do like is that they reveal to you like that they show you like different points of views of like characters, and you get more information about like characters like Elizabeth, like Henry's fiance, and you even met this new character. He's a boy and he's like following like what's going on with what's going on with the original. This I could consider something that could happen in the original. Now, the reason why I'm putting it in third place is because of the ending. Now the ending it just ends very abruptly. I know these comics also end abruptly, but but this comic felt like it, how do you explain it? It felt like you wanted more. Let's put it that way. You wish that it didn't end just like that, you know? That's my only complaint about this comic book. Art style, like I said, pretty good. I will say all the art styles are pretty beautiful in my opinion. So yeah. In second place, I'm gonna put The Invisible Man. I love the movie. I love the original movie. It's wacky, funny. It shows you a lot about Jack Griffin and all that. So I was pretty excited to read this book. Fun fact: this is the first comic book I read of the Universal Classic Monsters. And what can I say? I love it. I really do. In these comics, you go they talk about the events from before the first movie, and they explain more about like Jack Griffin, like how he was trying to, testing on invisibility on animals, and you get into the mind of Griffin, which I do like, because you realize that, oh, he was kind of crazy before he took the monocaine to become invisible. And I do like one detail about the art style. It's the fact that when you see like the characters, you get details of like their faces, but when you get Jack Griffin's, you barely get any details, to the point that some parts of his face are covered, and even when it's not covered, you get to see you don't get a lot of details of his face, which I do like. Overall, it's a pretty good comic book. I mean, if you're someone who loves the OG Invisible Man, highly recommend you check out this comic book. My number one place will be Dracula. I love this comic book. The way you get to know a little more of the characters like Mina, Van Helsing, and especially Renfield. And I love the original movie, the 1931. I think it's one of the best movies I've watched in a while, and I considered it one of my favorite movies of all time. It's my favorite movie of all time. And fun fact, I just rewatched it yesterday. And one thing I like is, like I said, you get more into like the characters of like in the characters in the story, and you even get a little bit more of Lucy, which I find quite fascinating. And what about the Count? Here's the thing. He's there, but he doesn't say a word. Well, he only says one name, but that's right at the end of the comic. But you feel his presence. It's very powerful and haunting. And one thing that one thing I find fascinating about the Count, like I said, is that he doesn't speak at all. And when you see him like in the shadows, or like just like around people, it feels very like kind of disturbing, like a little haunting, because he almost, in a way, it's like he's staring at us with his like red eyes and all that. And oh my goodness, the art style in this one, it's my favorite of the comic books. The way how they do like the shadows of Count Dracula and all that and stuff, oh, I love it. And you do get a little bit more of the ending with like what happens to like Dracula, and especially Renfield. I love this. It's one of my favorites. You guys might be curious about the art style, so I might show a few pages, like spoilers ahead, like here, like, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of hard with this. Yeah. And stuff. Give me one sec. Here. Get more her. And stuff like that, Next up is Frankenstein. One sec. Ooh. Let me see if I can find something interesting of the here. Like I said, I like the art style. And let me show you my favorites of Dracula. Okay, give me one sec. Here. Sorry about that. And here. So yeah, so that is my ranking for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys like the glimpses of like the comic books. I highly recommend them. I highly recommend you guys check them out, especially if you're like a fan of like these movies and all that. So see you on the next video, and Miss Universal out.